Is the stream live here? What's up, guys? What's up, JAYWALK13 here. Trying something a little different today. You know, growing up, everyone as kids, we all have like crazy experiences and crazy stories, and some wild stuff, and it deserves to be heard. I've had a lot of stories growing up and experienced a lot of crazy shit. Now, some people see Bigfoot, some people see UFOs, some people see aliens, some people see ghosts. So, everyone gather around the campfire and sit down, and here's a little story from me to you. So this has to go back in the 90s. Yeah, way back in the 90s. We were all young, fairly young anyway. And, a group of friends and I from the block, our parents used to send us away to summer camp. And this is like deep in the woods of like fucking upstate New York. So, a lot of shit went down up there. But up there was a lacrosse camp. And there's like normal camp where, with pools and, camping and grilling, having fun. And it's a co-ed camp, so there are girls and guys in it. We all have cabins, shit like that. But anyway, this particular, I forget the name of the camp, it's so long ago. It was like Camp Wiki, or I gotta get the name for you, but it was a summer camp my friends and I went to, and we were fairly young. But anyway, it was a couple of weeks into the camp, we had an actual camp trip. So they walked us deep into the woods. We bought firewood, we had marshmallows, and we had, all the stuff you need for camping. We didn't have any tents. There was no rain, so thank God there was no rain. We just had sleeping bags, bug repellent, shit like that. We actually had the old school lanterns and whatnot. And I would say there was at least 20 of us. We had a huge bonfire. And, we stacked up the bricks in a circle. Then we had all the firewood inside. And then we had a bunch of logs that went around. We roasted marshmallows. I think we had like those little Oscar Mayer wieners that we had. So, good time. And we all went to sleep that night, I remember, right? And the thing with the woods, you all went camping. The thing with the woods, when everything gets quiet, those little sounds start coming out in the full force. And it's like really fucking loud. So the crickets are like louder than ever. You hear like the creaking of the fucking, the trees and the fucking swaying of the grass. Like something walking in the far distance. You can hear like the breaking of the twigs and shit. Some scary shit. But anyway, it was that night. The fire's dead. We're all just chilling. And I remember my buddy, he's like directly, I wouldn't say maybe like 3 feet away. And he's like, Jay, wake up. So, I'm woken up. It's fucking cold. It's actually chilly. But the sleeping bags we had, covered the whole, all the way up to your head. You probably, those kind of like, it's like a onesie kind of thing, but it's a sleeping bag. Kind of like a caterpillar, I think that's what they call it. So my buddy's like, yo, Jay, wake up. It's like, what's going on? It's like, yo, I gotta take a piss, dude. You wanna come with me? It's like, dude, what is this? Are we a bunch of chicks here? Like, you go take a piss by yourself. But anyway, my buddy is actually, to this day, he's scared of the dark. So, I'm not gonna knock him for it. Some of us are scared of the dark. What are you going to do, right? So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to go have to take a piss too. So we basically walked a couple, not a couple feet, but far enough where they couldn't hear us taking a piss. So we actually went deep. It was dark, so we had the lantern. I remember I had like this kind of glow stick, this 24-hour glow stick, and it was kind of dimming, but it still gave off light. So I'm holding there like a green glow stick. He has like this fucking half-lit lantern, and we're walking down. So we're taking a piss, and he's directly behind me, and I'm facing the other way. You know what I mean? That's how we do. So anyway, we're taking a piss, and I'm done. I'm waiting for this dude now. I'm waiting. He can't take a piss because he's fucking scared. He's looking around. He's like, oh my God, like what is that? Do you hear that? But dude, it's nothing. Nothing. Just take your piss so we can get back to the campsite. So we're just chilling. Oh, I'm chilling. He's trying to take a piss. But anyway, it's pretty dark. So the only thing you can really see at this point, it's a clear night. So the moon is it's not a full moon, but it's bright enough where it's like shining down through the forest. And like I said, when it gets to that point in night in a forest, the noise is like it amplifies. So you hear the crickets, you hear the trees, you hear the fucking owls hooting, you hear the rustling in the bushes, and you don't even know what it is because it's fucking dark. Literally, I can stick my hand far out in front of my face, and I couldn't see my hand. That's how dark it is. So I'm waiting for my boy to do what he has to do so we can get back to the campsite. And the whole time, I'm seeing, it's like a car light. You know when a car light is coming through the fog? It's like dim, but it gets brighter and brighter. So I'm watching this light getting closer and closer to me. But you can't make it out because it's so far down and the trees are so thick that it's like a blur. It's like when you wake up in the morning and you're like rubbing your eyes and it's all blurry. It's kind of that feeling. So I'm looking at this light. It's not a car because, dude, it's no pathway. There's no roads over here. We're deep in the fucking forest of upstate New York. And the light is really far back, right? So my buddy's like, yo, Jay, I'm done. Let's roll. It's like, yo, dude, take the light off. He's like, what? Are you kidding me? I'm like, dude, lower the lantern and just take it out and be quiet. So I convinced, the dude's scared of the dark, right? We still bug him about it to this day that he needs, like he's over there holding his iPhone when he's like walking through his house because he's scared of the dark. But anyway, if he's listening to this, he's gonna kick my ass. But I didn't give your name, so it's okay. But anyway, we took the lantern out. It's fucking completely dark now. So I showed my friend. He's seeing the same shit, so I'm not hallucinating. So the light is like maybe 30 yards to maybe 30 feet away. So where it is, where we're standing, it's a straightaway, non-stop trees, and then it drops into a valley, and then it comes back up. Because I guess a long time ago, there used to be a river that ran through that, but it dried up, so it was nothing but an empty valley, and then it came back up. So, but where the light was, it's after the valley, past the valley. So we're watching this light as it gets closer and closer, but then eventually it stops. So in actuality, where it was, like I told you, where the valley is, it crossed the valley and it was on our side now. So it was pretty damn close. Not close enough where you can maybe like throw something at it or like run to it. It's pretty far still. But it's completely silent, no noise. We're not hearing no footsteps. Because, usually when you're walking, you're stepping on twigs and leaves and rocks and dirt. So it's nothing there. We didn't hear shit, but the light is there. So then I got enough. I'm scared at this point. I'm not scared of the dark. I'm going to tell you flat out. I don't need no kind of light. I can kind of maneuver myself through that. I'm not scared. So I ended up walking toward it. My buddy's like right behind me, like holding my shirt. Like, dude, are you kidding me right now? I'm like, no, dude. So I'm thinking it's a practical joke because the counselors at that time, it was a lot of girls, a lot of girl counselors. I remember my counselor was a girl. And there's a couple dudes, but there was mostly girls with us around that time. So the girl counselors are like 23 years old, maybe 20, right out of fucking college. So we're thinking maybe it's one of the girls that are about to play a prank on us. But dude, I shit you not, it's not one of them. To this day, I don't know what it was. But we ended up getting closer to this thing, right? Whatever it was. And I wouldn't say it was foggy. I would say there was a mist in the air because when the light's protruding out, you can see it cutting through the trees, like when you're holding a flashlight. So as soon as we started getting closer to this thing, whatever it was, it fucking getting dimmer and dimmer. So it's not like we were walking away from it, we were walking to it and it got dimmer. So right now it's fucking dark. The light's out. We don't know where this thing is or what it was. Maybe it was a fucking a leprechaun or some shit. I don't know. But the light's dead, right? We can't light the fucking lantern because we don't have matches. So we have no light. And the damn fucking glow stick that I have, it's like it's dimmed out already because I fucking broke it earlier in the evening. So as the night went on, it just got dimmer and dimmer. So at this point, I can probably hold it to my feet and just watch the ground so I can know where I'm stepping. But like holding it in front of me, it wasn't helping. So we're literally like walking around like a fucking blind person, with our hands in front, holding trees, trying to get back to where we were. And then we started, that's when we, like, walking back to the campsite, that's when we started hearing some shit. Now, how could I explain it? It's like a child laughing, but in a real, like, ominous kind of way, Like, my voice is too deep to do it. So, okay. Black Ops Zombies. I don't know if you guys are seeing the screen right now. But in the game, there's like a girl that talks to you, and she's fucking laughing. Usually when you hit the box, the fucking mystery box, and it goes away, that little girl, the little chick starts laughing. It's something like that, dude. We started hearing a laughing sound, and it wasn't loud. It was like really faint. So it was like, yo, dude, it has to be one of the chicks trying to, mess with us. So we started to head back toward where the light and sound was coming from. So we ended up walking pretty damn far back to where the fucking, where all the cabins were. So we walked a good distance following this fucking laughter. But anyway, we get to where all the counselors and all the kids are away from all the cabins. So only light that's there are like the towers that go around the whole camp that overlook the camp. And that's pretty high up, but we're having a dim light shining down so we can actually see ourselves now. But it's pretty dark, but you can see ourselves. So we see the light again, but this time we followed it toward a cabin. We followed it straight to a cabin, and the light, I shit you not, went through a wall. The fucking light went through a wall, right? So there's no door, there's no window. So at this point, we're like, okay, it's not a fucking counselor, it's not one of the kids, it's not one of us, not one of my friends, because whoever went through the fucking cabin didn't use a door, didn't use a window, because they're all locked up. This fucking shit had to went through the wall. So at this point, we're freaking out, like, oh my god, we saw a ghost. It's a fucking ghost. It's a fucking ghost. So we're pretty scared. We're kids at this point. We're not adults. So, I'm scared now too. I'm not scared of the dark, but I just saw some crazy shit. Anyway, we stayed there. We were frozen. We see the light inside the cabin, right? So the light goes dead. So where the light was, or the apparition, whatever you want to call it at this point, it's gone. It fucking disappeared. So now it's dark again. We don't see any light. We don't hear anything. So we're standing there. We get close to the window. We try, we're in there, peering in there. And I shit you not, I leaned back. I'm looking at my friend, but on the other so my friend's on the right side of my shoulder. On my left side of the shoulder, I'm feeling a breathing on me. Something was breathing on me. So the breathing is like like not like out of breath breathing, but like a fucking I'm gonna eat you kind of breathing. You know what I mean? Like some crazy shit. So I'm like, so I'm freaking out. I'm noticing my friend on my right side, but there's no one on my left, and I'm too shit scared to look on my left side by turning around because the breathing is literally breathing on my neck. My hairs on my neck are standing up right now, right? So I'm shivering. I'm scared with fright. I'm like shook. I'm stuttering my words. I'm like, hey buddy, do you see anyone next to me right now? So my boy, who's scared of the dark, turns around and faints. He didn't say a word. He turned around, looked whatever was behind me, and faints. He completely faints. He's out. He's out on the ground cold. So at this point, I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do? Because whatever is there is still breathing on my neck. My buddy, whatever he saw, just fainted. He's passed out right now. So the only option I have at this point, so let's just let me paint you a picture. We're standing in front of a cabin. In front of us, we're looking through a window. The only way I could run is jump over my buddy on the right side who's passed out on the ground and hightail it on my right side. If I go to the left, whatever's behind me there, I'm going to run right into it. So the only option I had was to hightail it and go to the right. So dude, without any like notice, dude, I fucking ran as fast as I could, dude. Like I'm so sorry that I left my buddy there, because at this point, whatever the fuck that was, I basically left him to the wolves, as they say, right? So I'm hightailing it. I ran not too far, but as far as I could, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna turn around because I'm far enough now. I turn around, there's nothing there. So you're there by yourself, your friend's passed out on the ground, something is breathing on your neck, you run a little distance and you turn around and you find out there's nothing there. Like, what the fuck is going on? So the first thing that came to mind, I mean, as kids, we don't really, like, as an adult, you know about ghosts, you know about those ghost stories, vampires, werewolves, blah, blah, blah. But as a kid, you don't really think about that shit. You think, like, Casper the Ghost and, you know, like, Scooby-Doo and shit like that. Everything's fake. Everything's cartoon. You don't think about, oh my god, there's a ghost over there. It's going to eat me. No, you don't think about that. But, you know, turning around and looking back, I didn't see anything. So I go back. My buddy's like, what happened? I'm like, dude, you just passed the fuck out, man. I told you to look around, and whatever you saw passed out. He's like, oh my god, dude, I saw it was behind you. So at this point, I'm freaking out. I was like, there was something behind me, right? So I didn't imagine it, so I felt kind of good. I'm not crazy. So he saw what was that, right? He saw what was behind me. But he said he caught a glimpse of something. At this point, whatever was behind me was in full form. It wasn't a ghost. It wasn't a glowing light. It was like a normal person or apparition in color or whatever, standing there right next to my left shoulder, breathing on me. It's whatever we were following in the woods and followed back to the cabins. That's what it was. And my buddy saw it. And what he said he saw was a woman. It was a woman dressed in a white, like the old school, like when women used to go to sleep, they used to have those like long ass nightgowns. And that's what he saw. She was wearing a nightgown. Her hair was all like frizzy and fucked up. And her face was like, how could I put it? It's like a Tim Burton movie where her eyes are like kind of like swollen and it's bulging out, and where the bags under your eyes are, it's like completely drooped down, like kind of like she was melting almost, right? If she was wax, her eyes was melting, her eyes was bulging, and her lips were red, and I guess makeup that was smeared on her face. Is it blood? Is it makeup? I don't know what he saw. But then we went back to the campsite. We had flashlights in our cabin. We went back. We got everything. We didn't see a thing. We went back. And we, went to sleep like nothing happened. We woke up the next morning, and we found out that there were like, I guess, blood smears on the trees. We went into the cabin where we saw this thing, and there was blood on the sheets. There was footprints, like bloody footprints, whatever it was. So we ended up coming clean and saying, hey, we saw something last night to the counselors, and we told them what we saw, or my buddy saw, and they actually went to the shelf. Supposedly, this woman was back in the colonial days, kind of like she was a pilgrim, back in the pilgrim days, and I guess she was raped and murdered out in the woods. And where that campsite, or the camp was built over a fucking cemetery where pilgrims were. And I guess whoever sold the camp to the foundation that ran the summer programs, the owners never told them about it. So they actually found out the hard way by counselors saying they saw the same thing we saw. Students and other kids saw the same shit. And what they called this person, or whatever it was the white lady. And what the white lady does is basically to lure you out into the valley where there are fucking sharp-edged rocks. So if you follow the light past the valley, you don't notice that the ground drops out from below you and you drop down, because it's a fucking valley with a river. So the rocks aren't smooth, they're jagged edge rocks. So if you fall into the valley, you're definitely breaking an ankle. If you fall down, you hit your elbows, your face, you're fucking your shit up. You can almost die. You can get pierced by those rocks. That's how sharp they are. But anyway, they call her the white lady. She was murdered there in that particular area. And they said every year around that time, even sooner, even throughout the years they had been there, someone's always seen the white lady. And the kids that we heard laughing are kids that were buried there also. So the campground, which is still there today, upstate New York, and they kind of make it into a kind of Halloween spectacle now. So they do have summer camp, but they have a day camp. They don't have the night camp anymore. So whatever's going on there now, it's a lot worse than what we experienced. So now they have a strictly day camp, and they don't go back in the woods anymore. Everything is kept in like this fucking kind of, like how every town has a main street and you have all the little things going on in between, all lit up, lights everywhere. That's how it is now. They don't go into the woods. Everything is fenced off where the camp is. And yeah, so they call it the white lady, the white lady. She's a ghost that died there, got murdered, and she was a pilgrim. So this has been going on for years. And what funny part is, this fucking thing was breathing on my neck. Was she gonna kill? Like, I don't know. Can a ghost kill you? What can a ghost really do to you, right? Because isn't like you put your hand through it, you're fucking, you can't touch it. You go right through it. But so that was my first experience right there with the ghost, and it was a white lady. It's like it's a famous thing. You can probably look it up online. And I ran into the white lady. My buddy passed out. He actually has a drawing in his house now that he shows his kids now of the white lady. He's like an artist. He's really good at it. And he painted it. And I guess he added his own little features. This shit scares me to death when I walk into his house, man. Like, he has it, as soon as you walk into the house, you see the picture of this big ass, ghostly white lady. And, yeah, so that's one of the first stories of episode 1, Campfire Tales. And that was my experience with the white lady. To this day, I really want to go back and experience it again as being an adult. Because, I mean, I can go in there, maybe give a donation or two, and they'll let me stay. And maybe I can stay in a cabin, you know, that's not used, and I can go into the woods at night and see if I can, you know, experience that, because I really do. I'm curious now, because, you know, as a kid, you see things a different way, and as an adult, you know, you see things another different way. So I really want to experience it, and if I do go back, I will tape everything. It's going to be like a fucking, as soon as if I do tape it and I put it on YouTube, it's going to be like the Blair Witch Project. Like part 2 or some shit, part 3, whatever it is. So I definitely want to experience it again, because I'm curious. If I didn't run away and I would have stood right there, what would have happened? You know, it was so close to me that it was breathing on my neck. I felt the breath. So how can a ghost, right, breathe and have air? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird. It's very weird. So are these things, like, can they make themselves whole? Like they can touch you? Can they kill you? Like, so that's definitely a story that stuck with me for a long time. I mean, we stayed there. It was still a couple of weeks left, and we looked out for the thing, and we even saw it one time. We have like parents' night. Parents come and we put on a show. We do like different tricks, and you know, like we put on a nice little play. We did like a play of Johnny Appleseed or some shit. But anyway, we saw it again, but it was at far distance. We saw the light moving through the trees. And that was it. That was the last time I saw it. And I think it was like 2 days after we all left. But I know today, it's upstate New York. I gotta find out the camp. It's so long ago. It's Camp Wiki or some shit. I gotta find out. I think my wife knows where it is. But yeah, so thanks again. This is something new. I want to try doing this. I'll try to put my cam up for the next one, and you guys can see me. I can scare you this time. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. This is JAYWALK's Campfire Tales, Episode 1. The Odyssey of the White Lady, the Ghost. So thanks again, guys. Good night. And watch out for those ghosts.